Hello. I'm just going to provide an update from our recent board meeting. There were some key items that we discussed at our April board meeting, so I just thought it would be really beneficial to share some information with the staff. And first of all, in the CEO update, I was really pleased that I could highlight our website refresh. So when you have a chance, please take a look at that. Like very easy, I think, to read, to navigate, and access to the information. And I think the visuals really help to improve it. So take a look. Also, just Ray shared with the board the return to work that's happening here at Toronto Seniors Housing. Won't delve into that a great deal. There'll be more of that coming up shortly. And also, we were able to share with the board our first edition of our volunteer program handbook. Very excited about this, and really a very simple guide for many of our tenant volunteers and information for them to access. It's our first edition, and so certainly it will need to be refined over time, but we were really pleased that we were able to provide that to our tenant volunteers. And then also, just the last part of my update was sharing the staff sessions that I've been having in each one of the regions. 3 out of the 4 are done. And as I've said before, it is just such a good opportunity to spend some time with all of the staff. It's very casual, very interactive, and I have to say I have gotten a lot of very good information and feedback from you. And what's really nice is the timing in these align with the work that we're doing around our strategic directions. And just want to raise that as well as kind of key work that we are doing right now, and wanting to thank any of you who have been participating in that. What's a really key process for us here at Toronto Seniors Housing. And then also at the board, this was really annually our audit, and really pleased to share that we had a clean audit. So congratulations to the finance team and others who had a part in that work. It is always a heavy lift for us to get that audit in, but this is several years in a row now that we have had a clean audit, so that's always really good to know. Also in the area of finance, we did provide a procurement change report. And I just want to raise that because it really kind of brings the attention, the importance to how we are purchasing, how we are procuring, the approval process for any of our larger supplies that we need, and any services that we use. And it is that check and balance in our system that ensures kind of accountability to ourselves and to the board, and how we are spending resources. And when we do deviate from that process, part of that is reporting to the board. The deviations happen. It is part of normal operations, but it is important that we are transparent in reporting that to our board. Another item on the agenda, and I think very exciting, was with OACH, the Office of the Commissioner for Housing Equity. And we have confirmed that Melanie Martin is going to continue to be the commissioner, moving from her interim role to her permanent role. So really excited and want to congratulate Mel on that appointment. She has done really very good work in leading the OACH, in working with our staff, in improving many of the processes relating to arrears, and helping our staff and tenants to identify where income, information, documentation is needed as it relates to their rental and their agreement, but also around whether it's through Wood Green or the Rent Bank, where these resources can help with income security, and then ultimately, the security of their housing. So really pleased about Melanie's appointment. And then another highlight for this board session was our annual report. And I really would encourage all of you to take a look at this. We got many compliments from the board about this report. It's visual, and it tells stories about our tenants. It tells about the success of our work. And I think it really starts to kind of amplify for us how we are a very kind of relationship-based organization. And our culture is about inclusivity, how we lift people up, and really how we promote people to really have a fine quality of life. And then a bit more of a technical area at the meeting, but for staff, you'll understand the importance of this, was the electronic mobility device policy. And so this is all about e-bikes, and what certain electronic vehicles or devices cannot be within the buildings. So, if you have an interest in this, or this is of use to you in your work, please take a look at it, because it is very relevant. We know there is a high risk with these electric devices, and so we just really need to have a strong policy in place to support what is and is not allowed in our buildings. And then just finally, I'm going to mention for the meeting, it was in-camera session, but it related just to myself, the CEO's objectives, not to provide a lot of details, but simply to say this was the once a year, the annual time when I share with the board and get approval on the objectives for 2026. And then as you know, the CEO objectives, then they cascade to directors and then to the balance of the staff. They are based on our strategic directions and our goals, so there's really a nice flow. And so it was really good to share that information with the board, so they have really a better understanding of what our priorities are as an organization for 2026. So that was really one of the activities that wrapped up that board session. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this information, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to bring you up to speed. So thanks.